Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today we have the GreenWorks 80-volt brushless chainsaw. I got a few chainsaws and they are all gas powered. And the one thing I hate about them is that if they sit too long, I got to stabilize the fuel and, trying to start them up. If the fuel's bad, it's not stabilized, it's not going to start. Then I have to replace the carburetor. So I was looking for this. They says that it's up to a 46cc equivalent, which is about what your 18-inch regular gas-powered chainsaw is going to be. And this is an 80-volt GreenWorks. So anyway, this is the box. And so, it's, your standard box that's going to come like through Amazon. It has the label battery warning on the one side. But all right, let's open her up and see what we got going on in here. So that's basically what you got going in a box. So here's your charger, your instruction booklets. So that's pretty good, and it looks like they give you a lot of operational stuff going on. So those are your 3 books. Here's your battery, and it's not that heavy. I thought it was going to be like a lot heavier. So that's actually pleasant to check out and find out. All right, so this is your charger. I'm going to get this plugged in and going just because we want to make some cuts with this, right? All right, so we'll plug this in over here. Okay, so it looks like that is where all your charging lineups are going to be, and that's your charger right here. So we're going to slide this battery in from the top, and it's got a little guided groove on there, so you can kind of like slide that in. And then looks like it turns on itself, and then it's going to tell you charging, full, if it's too hot or it's not charging, I guess by the color lights. So that's green, so it looks like it's charging. And I don't see a power level indicator. Oh, here we go. So on this side, you can kind of see how it's charging up. So according to this, it's probably pretty low. Nope, correction. That actually looks pretty good. So it's got 2 bars, and then it's working on getting that last bar filled up. So we're actually, it's actually charged up pretty decently to start off with. Okay, so then you get the chainsaw itself that comes in a box, and it looks like it is pretty much pre-assembled, ready to go. So that's your safety, on and off. Your battery's going to go down into this compartment here, and then on this side, let's push that a little bit out of the way so we got some more room here. So as you can quickly tell, it is minus the pull cord, because you're obviously not going to need that. But it does have an chain oil fill reservoir here. So make sure that you have the required oil for your bar. So that's your important warning labels on how the brake, your chain brake works. So forward is going to be the brake, and then backward is going to unlock it, so that will work. And that's all that's in this box. So you got to get some chain oil. Well, let's take a look at this. So that's your chain guard. So that's pretty cool. And then that is your chain. And being around a lot of chainsaws, this is probably a light chain compared to some of the beefier ones that you can get on like your Husqvarna or your Steels. But it does have a good tooth pattern on it, and it is just it's a lighter weight chain. I'm not going to say anything more than that. We'll see how it does cutting through logs and stuff here in a while, and we'll just put this cover back on. Oh, and I like how it has this little tooth gear here. I shouldn't even say gear. This is basically when you're getting closer to a log. That's kind of like a stabilizer. They kind of like dig into a log so you can get a better cut on this. Also, I'm just looking to see if it has some oil points on here. Usually, you always want to drop a couple drop of oil in here at the tip. That's going to be your gear on either side. So that's your running gear at the top of your chainsaw. So just keep that in mind when you're oiling. Then in the booklet, I'm sure it's going to tell you what weight oil that you're going to need. Let's see how this booklet actually is. So it's going to tell you what kind of chain you need for replacement, for sharpening. And it gives you some hints and tricks in there. And if I saw correctly, I think it has a onboard chain tightening tool. Actually, I don't see that here. Okay, so if you look on here, you have to loosen these two bolts, and then you can either tighten or you can loosen your chain tension. And by the looks of it, it looks like it comes factory tightened. So you want about like this much room, and see how it kind of snaps back. That's how you know you have your chain tight. Actually, I want it a little bit tighter than that, but we're gonna get it going, and then we'll work on like see how well that works. Other than that, we're gonna let that charge up, and then we are gonna go outside and we're gonna cut some wood and see how this goes. In the meantime, I'm gonna get some oil, and I'm gonna look up and see what it recommends. And when we get back, I will give you guys a heads up. Anyway, so far, that is your GreenWorks 80-volt brushless chainsaw unboxing, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I got some standard oil, chain bar oil, and I'm going to fill it up. Obviously, use a funnel, and as you're pouring, you can see on the side, it's going to tell you your full mark. So you want to fill that up, basically just about full. Okay. And obviously, make sure you keep an eye on it as you are using your chainsaw. Okay. So the reservoir is full, and we are almost full on this battery. So we are going to stop that, and we are going to go out. All right, so we are basically going to put this battery pack in, and you are lining it up, and you'll see it only goes in one way. So if you're actually put it in this way, it won't go in. So it goes in this way. Locks in, and we're not quite full, but I think we're gonna see how much we can get out of this. And let me go grab my gloves, and we'll go make some cuts. Okay, so here we are outside. We have our chainsaw. Take the cover off, and basically you have your power button here. So you're turning that on, so it's letting you know you're good to go. And then you push this in, and that's gonna make your chainsaw go. All right, let's see how we do on some cuts. Make sure you're wearing gloves and safety glasses. So, didn't do so bad. We'll cut a couple more slots and we'll cut through. Let's roll this on the other side so we can make that complete cut. Let's roll this back over. We'll cut back through here. All right, working cutting this through. Alright, so when you're down on your charge, it's going to beep like that, meaning you got to charge your battery up. But anyway, we sliced through a whole bunch of logs with an electric wireless chainsaw. So we just got to get this this charged up and we'll be good to go for the rest. Anyway, so far, absolutely positively recommend this GreenWorks Pro 18-inch chainsaw. Okay, so my final thoughts on the GreenWorks Pro 18-inch. I liked it. It was lightweight. It was a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be, especially with that big, bulky battery. Wasn't quite a little bit more than halfway charged. I'm sure when it was fully charged, it would definitely go through a lot more wood. Definitely cut through quite a few, logs, and obviously you're not going to be a lumberjack using this thing and cutting like whole tree trunks down. But I mean, I like the fact that you can put a battery in it, turn it on, and you're cutting in no time. Definitely read the owner's manual so you know everything that's going on with it. These two bolts were actually a lot looser than I had anticipated them being. So about halfway through, this mechanism started coming loose. So only thing you need is like this is a complicated one, but you just need a chainsaw tool and it's basically going to have your 1/2-inch adapter, which is basically what these bolts are. And then you need a standard flathead screwdriver, which is going to be here. And you know, work on your tension. Like I said, you want it be able to spring back, but you want to be able to pull it up. So that's about how much tooth line that you have going on. Let me get a little bit closer to that so you can kind of see. So when you pull up in the middle, you barely want these teeth to come out, and that's how you know if you have your chain tight enough. And then this is what tightens it. You either go to the right to tighten it, left to untighten. And like I said, your 1/2 inch here, and then to tighten it. But other than that, I was very pleased at how this worked. Anyway, that is your GreenWorks Pro 18-inch chainsaw, 80 volt. And Brian from Garage Wall. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.